I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. This message is to encourage a parent. I don't know what you are passing through. I don't know the challenges you are facing. 36 years ago, at about 4 or 5 a.m., I was in the labor room with my wife. I usually took her deliveries. And as she was in labor, I remember vividly, I made a statement. I said, what if you deliver and suddenly the mouth of the baby is open? I used the word weke in Yoruba language. And we joked over it. Lo and behold, I was not prepared for what I was informed about. The child was born. This place was open, cleft lip and palate. The nurse with me in the theater, her name is Uloma. I will never forget Uloma. I don't know where she is. And the baby came out. A hairy male child that wanted to live. Why? Because he immediately started crying. We didn't suck his nostrils and whatever. Before he started crying, wah, wah. And when he cried, this lip will part. My heart sank. Never experienced that before. It was an occurrence in 100,000 births. And it happened to me. I carried the child, gave to the nurse to clean, carried my wife, gave her a bath, went upstairs with the child. What do we do? That time, I think I was 1988. I was 29 years old. None of my brothers were around. I was with two paralyzed parents. One from spinal cord injury, another one from stroke. Their last child, and currently the only surviving one. I was alone in the East. There was no Urobo man nearby. The nearest one was very far away. What do I do? Here was the child. Thank God my wife is a nurse. That child could not breastfeed, could not suck feeding bottle. So we had to express breast milk into a container, put in his mouth. And he will cry. The lip will part. But he had a wonderful smile. I could see joy in in him. When he smiled, the lip will open. And it was traumatic. Traumatic. You can't understand it. What do? I ran to Fox Road to meet Dr. Onwuka. This is what I have in my hands. He said I should go to the facial-maxillary center in Port Harcourt. And so we had the child, newly born baby. After some days, we went to the facial-maxillary center in Port Harcourt. Guess what? They started playing with my child. They didn't know what to do. They will bring this, they will bring that, they will bring that. And I told my wife, swear it in me mama na get cause quarrel here. Let me carry the child and run away. And my wife provoked, and I took the child and ran away. Remember the interview with my eldest son, Police Pushi Moto. I had brought my father with his spinal cord injury, paralyzed. My mother would stroke. In the course of the journeys to and fro, my 504 Peugeot IM49BN had an engine problem. We worked on the engine. It was leaking oil again. Landlord said I should park from his house. All these things came at once. And then church people abandoned me. It was Reverend John Okposio Marshall, the man that preached the day I got born again in the Living Word Ministries. Then it was Training Center, 158 about Were Road, that came and said that a child like this usually turns out to be a genius, that it is the future of the child that was being attacked, that we should prophesy upon the child. So we started prophesying upon the child, and he left. One woman, Mrs. Teresa Uzochikwa, came and said he had seen a child like this before, and that the child turned out to be very brilliant, and that the child was going to be a great child. So we prayed, thanked God. And then one of my sister-in-laws came to help us take care of the child. When she saw the child with cleft lip and palate, carried news home. Another one rebelled, left. So I was left alone with my wife, with 2 other children. At 29, my wife was 27. Suddenly, in the course of that, my daughter's legs turned to multiplication sign, bilateral genu valgus. What next? National Orthopedic Hospital, Enugu. I would drive. I had a hospital in Akwa Ibom. I had in Aba practices, and I would go to work, come, help take care of baby, then drive to Enugu to go and see whether there was bed space. One doctor, Iregbu, fine gentleman, became the consultant to my son. You will drive from Aba, you know what I'm talking about? Get to Enugu, there is no bed space. You will drive back. One of the fateful days, I didn't go early again. I drove to Enugu, got there. There was bed 6 available. But one child from Ebonyi State was assigned that bed, Abakaliki. The child refused to stay. And then we came. My child agreed to stay. So we replaced that child and went home without my wife. You won't understand what I'm saying. For somebody you grew up with from the age of 19 and you've been doing things together, suddenly at this age bracket, you are separating from her. Not nowadays that she calls me runaway husband. Anytime you saw her, you will see me. And leaving a vulnerable child with his mother in hospital, driving home alone was very traumatic. Thank God for Dr. Ondukwe, who was in the National Orthopedic Hospital. At least we had somebody, my classmate, who were in the debating team together, who could stay with them. You were not allowed to sleep in the ward, so you slept outside, sometimes under trees. It took 6 hours to do the first surgery to close this lip. Church women refused to come and see my wife because they heard that, that the mouth was like as a road, that it is what you see when you are pregnant that you deliver. When I want to carry my child for him, thank God for the Igbo people. Thank God for the Igbo people. I was working under Dr. Wankwo, an Ungwa man married to a Russian. He instructed that the child should be immunized at home because I worked under him during my NYSC, National Youth Service program, and I had left for more than 3 years, but he still instructed that my baby be immunized at home because we couldn't take the child to a public place. In fact, when we want to carry the child to hospital, people will be, it's coming, Anabia. People, they want to see the child. We cover the child, smuggle the child. I was alone in the East, but God was with me. And subsequently, we took my daughter to the same National Orthopedic Hospital, bed 8, for surgery to correct the legs. I did not ask for a penny from any person, from church folks, or from family members. I was walking, doing surgeries, walking, and God helped me. I paid all the bills. Now, I was able to pay the bills not because of the money I had. It was because government subsidized the bills. It was because the hospital was a government hospital and was working. Today, we've killed most of those hospitals. We, wicked generation, killed most of those hospitals. And we are running abroad. The road was good, so I could go and come back. Fuel was cheap, so I could go and come back. I've killed our refineries, killed everything to buy fuel from Enugu, go to Aba, from Aba to Enugu, come back. There was security, so I could go and come back. They operated on my 2 children. My wife was in the hospital, sleeping outside. Sometimes it is the food they bring for the children that she will eat some from. And then the lip was operated on. They had to wear him gloves, bandage around his hand, so that when the thing is itching, he does not tear it. Number 2, he must not cry. If he cries and the lips separated, we will go back for another 6 hours. And then the wound healed. The joy, the joy, the joy. My wife came back with 2 of them. Then one day, my daughter with her POP on her legs, one wicked house girl put the legs under mattress and sat on the legs. And the legs that were already healing got cracked again. I had to take her back to Enugu to fix the bones again. I was alone with my wife in the East, but God was with me. Thank God for sound Christian upbringing. My bishop, Bishop B.C. Edohasin, did not emphasize demons, did not emphasize witches, did not emphasize who was worrying me from my village. It says that what you pay attention to will give you direction. I never ever thought it was the devil that was worrying me. Never. Never. I just knew it was one of the roads I had to pass through. And God confirmed it. One day we were coming back from Enugu and I was with my son, my eldest son, who is also a doctor now, an orthopedic surgeon and trauma specialist. We're coming and I was crying. He did not know. I said, God, why me? Why me? And I heard, why not you? Somebody has to pass through it to encourage others in future. This is my story. All that I do is the debt I owe. When I talk about business, I talk about entrepreneurship, I talk about right doctrines. Bishop Edohasim did not ask me to come and sow seed. Did not tell me I should do a sacrificial offering because of the people worrying me from. Just imagine the number of demons they will have called. My father had spinal cord injury, paralyzed. My mother had stroke, paralyzed. My two children, cleft lip and palate for surgery. My daughter, bilateral genival for surgery. My elder brother, immediate elder brother, mentally retarded at home. Just imagine the number of demons they will have called being responsible. Imagine the number of midnight prayer. I never woke up to pray any midnight prayer. I never cast out any demon. I knew that it was a test of my strength. If your faith is weak in the day of adversary, then your strength is small. As a young man, I told you I was 29 or so. I weathered these storms. Landlord telling me to park, car knocked engine, and all that. Two paralyzed parents, abandonment by my elder brothers, and I was alone. I would send money home for my elder brother that was mentally retarded. It strengthened me. Sometimes the most difficult situations that you pass through are to strengthen you. They went for another surgery to correct the palate. There was the belief that he might not talk well, but he speaks well. He went to nursery school, very brilliant. Went to primary school, he won a mathematics competition. From the exam was done from Enugu, my son won a mathematics competition. Went to primary school in Dinals along Opobo Road. When he did the entrance, he said, which kind of boy is this? Brilliant. Went to secondary school, brilliant. Went to university, brilliant. Started writing books at the age of 13. He was typesetting my books, writing with his mother, and then did a BSc, started his own company in my house, became a millionaire at 22 before going for NYSC. If not for one kind of day, he would have won the Enugu State, the federal award. Went to Europe, did a master's in one of the most prestigious universities in Eastern Europe, had an average of 83.13%. I sent him to the United States, to Massachusetts, Cape Cod, sent him twice. and he did a PhD. One time we had a problem, they sent him back. I paid again, did visa, paid school fees again, sent him to go and conclude the PhD. Today, he's married to a cardiologist. The day he called me that his son was born, the first thing I checked was his mouth. Calamity did not repeat itself. I have a very handsome grandson who made sure he looked like us. Professor Luca Apoki, and a beautiful daughter-in-law. So when I went to Europe and I was excited, you can go to Europe before me. You can live in Europe before me. You can be staying in the United States. Your story is not my story. Your experience is not my experience. You can't determine my joy. Keep your joy, I keep my own. I enjoy my joy, enjoy your joy. You can't sit on my chair and sit on your own. You can't dream my dream. Dream your dream. I dream my dream. To see that boy that somebody could have abandoned, thrown away, come to carry me from the airport with his 2024 model. If jealousy kill you, now you sabi. Jealousy kill you, now you sabi. Come and carry me from the airport, drive me to his apartment. As I was driving, I was looking at him. I was thinking about my wife. I was thinking about the pains we passed through, the stress we passed through. I remember the prayer that Reverend John Okbosio Marshall prayed, the prayer that Sister Teresa Ozochikwa prayed. And I remember and I know that God is faithful. That no matter the attacks, no matter the challenges, you are made more than conquerors. And as I sit here, I understand the pains a mother, a father goes through when they have a child with a medical challenge. They just brought a child here today that I prescribed medicine for epilepsy. I don't charge them because my elder brother had that problem. And then I told my son, Ufoma, that thing did not happen to us because God hated us. No, it is because he loved us. He wants us to become solutions to other people's problems. And so we resolved that we will be doing surgeries for children that have cleft lip and palate. Thank God, one of the children, they call him God do well. I will see the mother hiding the child. And I found out that he had cleft lip and palate. I went to meet the mother that I would take charge of the surgery of this child. The mother doubted me because I usually trek a lot. I wear shorts and trek. Then I went to bring an SUV so that she would know I'm not playing with her. And then I told her I will send her, we'll go to the King's Palace. I will do an undertaking to take the child for surgery. Fortunately for me, I went to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital and I was told that Smile Foundation will do the surgery free. I went to preach there. And I sent God do well with the mother to Umuahia, Queen Elizabeth Hospital. And they did the surgery free. And I could see the smile, the joy in the father and the mother, like as I had. When problems keep reoccurring in your life, it's not a sign that you're not a good Christian. Each of these problems are an indicator or indicators that you should solve them, should become a solution. So like as I said earlier on, poverty made me to decide to raise 1 million entrepreneurs, and we are getting there. My health the health challenges that my children had made me to understand the pains that people go through. That was why I came out to raise money for my pastor that died. I will start balancing the accounts today. Grieve my spirit that he did not make it. But it will not stop me. I will keep being of help through my platform to selected people. My son Ufoma has undergone close to 6 to 7 surgeries again after that initial thing. Dental surgeries to correct the dentition, surgeries to remove nasal polyp, surgeries to remove sinuses, all kinds of surgeries he has gone through. So sometimes he will have headaches. He will need to go to the neurologist. But all in all, he is pushing on. That's why it's so special to me today to wish my friend, to wish my business partner, to wish my philosophical friend, Dr. Ufoma Apoki, Chima Apoki, happy birthday. We've come a long way as a family together. And any little success we have, we must celebrate it. Celebrate it to thank God that in the midst of loneliness, he was there with us. And I want to encourage you, no matter what you are passing through. Me, I didn't run to any prayer place. I didn't beg for money. I didn't ask for assistance. There was none coming. And I've learned to dare to walk alone, face my challenges, carry my cross. This story is to encourage you. There is hope. God is faithful. This is my story. This is my song. I will not leave this earth until I build a specialist hospital in my father's community where I can bring experts to help people solve health problems, particularly orthopedics, plastic surgery. That's what I went through. This is my story. This is my song. Share this with somebody. It will encourage somebody. Subscribe to this channel. Later this evening, I'll be announcing the new date for our webinar. God bless you.